Hey guys, so if you don't remember, Denims 1 week, 1,692 donations, and $46,000 later, I'm refunding the GoFundMe. If when I go forward as a plaintiff, I will be self-funded. Thank you everyone for proving Ethan wrong. His behavior is unacceptable, and people do care. Proceeding with a defamation lawsuit against Ethan is a and then here is the screenshot of her raising 46,000 plus dollars out of $150,000 goal. You can see anonymous. There's $1,000 donor. That is a lot of money. So there is money in these GoFundMe's, especially for legal defense. Do I love it? No. I covered the Carl Jobs GoFundMe. Remember, he was backed by Notch, a literal billionaire, yet he still needed his subscribers' money, including one of the comments was like a 12-year-old giving Carl Jobs his $5 monthly allowance, who was also misled. It's strange, right? It's strange. The first thing these three individuals all thought to do was start a GoFundMe. That was the reaction, the direct reaction to Ethan's video. And hey, give them credit. Kaceytron has cried and cried her way to a ton. So, let's talk about Denims first. Denims, I think, is very interesting. So, C raised money to sue for defamation against Ethan Klein based on the Child Protection Services. Denims refunds GoFundMe money, announces she will be self-funding potential defamation lawsuit against Ethan Klein. Okay, if she can self-fund a plaintiff lawsuit, which is generally more expensive, a defamation lawsuit generally much harder to win than Ethan's current copyright lawsuit, especially given the fact that Ethan had previously copyrighted his work, making this a slam dunk, easy win in my opinion, as opposed to defamation, very hard to prove. Denon sends Ethan Klein a legal letter demanding a retraction of his remarks, linking her to the CPS controversy. She loves it. There's no doubt in my mind she wanted to be linked to the controversy. She actively tried to be linked to the controversy because it allowed her to raise money and support. And you're like, oh, she didn't get the money. It was refunded. But let me tell you another guy. His name is the completionist Gerard. There are additional benefits to raising money. People will subscribe to you. Like when Gerard was raising money for his charity, not all of it went to the charity, right? Some of it was bits. For instance, a very clear example would be, everyone who becomes a Twitch member, a Twitch Prime member, we're going to take that money and give it to charity. Maybe that happened for the first month, but perhaps that person just auto-subscribed. And Gerard continued to get money later on that was not accounted for by the charity because then it would go to his business. There are many benefits of starting a GoFundMe beyond having money, raising awareness, raising support. People are going to donate money to you outside of GoFundMe. They're going to subscribe to you. They're going to donate directly via PayPal. When you click Denims, the link tree, it is all about money, man. It is all about money. There are so many ways to donate money to Denims. Why issue a retraction letter and crowdfund if you weren't serious about your legal threat? I was and am. I'm almost certain she will never sue, even because here's the interesting part. She can counter for defamation. Will she do this? It's very cheap to counter. Ethan's already done the heavy lifting, right? I was and am. If CCC 48A applies, you must issue a retraction letter within 20 days of the defamatory statement before you can pursue a lawsuit. This is why Ethan was so prompt in his letter to Noah, but has yet to file a suit if he ever actually planned on doing so. I changed my mind about crowdfunding because I realized I didn't like the money-grubbing narratives, he says. And this is like a few months ago. This isn't like a year. She's kind of evolved as a content creator. No, this is a few weeks ago. Normally, this wouldn't be an issue because I could just be transparent with how the money was spent. But over the length of time that a lawsuit will span, it isn't realistic, and just doing my best isn't enough for an offensive lawsuit. Anyone that's disappointed needs to realize they would have been waiting a very long time for any kind of emotional payout. Oh, is there an example of this? Yes, his name is Carl Jobs. Backed by a bill. You don't need to worry about Carl losing sleep or money. The dude was backed literally by a billionaire and wouldn't even call him to ask for more money, because that's how loaded Carl Jobs was at this time. I think Denims is loaded. She raised, again, according to her, as a bragged, $46,000 is more than the average American family makes in the US, or the median American family makes in the US, and she made that in a few days, right, for doing nothing. Oh, accounts who can follow or mention, accounts only they follow or mention, because that makes sense, right? You don't want to open yourself to criticism. The way that this GoFundMe was operated was a complete PR move. It was one of those Shark Tank deals that the person accepts the offer to look good on TV, and then behind closed doors, they tank the due diligence, so there's never ever a deal, which is the majority of Shark Tank deals that get closed on the carpet don't actually get closed behind closed doors because it's just for PR, right? So here is Denims. Strangely enough, this particular GoFundMe at this moment in time has far less donations and far less money donated. So people were more happy to donate money when it was about suing Ethan Klein for defamation than about defending. You would think it would be reversed, right? You would think she would raise at least $100K. And strangely enough, the asking goal is much less. It's only $100K, not $150K. This fundraiser is to cover any and all legal fees associated with his complaint. Now, let me tell you how GoFundMe works, because we covered this with Carl Jobs. There's no transparency. There's no, I spent money on this lawyer, here's the invoice, there's no transparency at all with GoFundMe and legal fees. I don't think GoFundMe was meant to be for legal fees because, again, like Denims, it's correct, it takes a long time. We're not talking about you injured yourself and you went into medical debt, and here is the medical invoice. Now, I have my own suspicions that many of these invoices are doctored, or they can be discounted heavily if paid in cash. I worked marketing for multiple emergency rooms. I can tell you, if they send you an invoice for $10,000 and you have cash and you don't have insurance, you can negotiate it down to $2,000 or less quite easily. They would be happy if you called and said, I can pay you $2,000 cash today. So a lot of these invoices, especially coming from emergency rooms, are way bloated, and for a cash offer, it would be much less. Kaceytron, who's been crying and crying, again, this individual still has not found a lawyer, even though she has spent more time crying about the situation than anyone else. She's currently on vacation. Ethan Klein would definitely be the first person informed if she did find a lawyer, because the first thing that lawyer would do is have to contact, and they have to, by the way, if Kaceytron hired a lawyer within 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever is reasonable in that state, they would have to then contact Ethan Klein's lawyer and respond and say, hey, they don't have to respond to the complaint. They have to just respond to say, I'm the lawyer on the case, which Ethan Klein now knows. Kaceytron is busy taking a vacation, according to Ethan Klein. Again, allegedly, it may be because he's done such a good job fundraising. So the person who is crying without the lawyer has fundraised more than even Denims, who already had one bite at the apple, if you will. This GoFundMe legal stuff, please do not donate to money if you don't have the money. If you are a 5-year-old, if you are a 12-year-old and you have $5 and that's your monthly allowance, just buy a pack of cards, save up for a video game. Donating to the Carl Jobs legal fund is just not it, right? It's just not it. He has a billionaire who he literally, the reason that the payment stopped is he wouldn't even thank the billionaire for his support. He didn't pick up the phone, call the billionaire, tweet at the billionaire, nothing, because that's how wealthy and loaded a lot of these influencers are. I would never spend a cent of the GoFundMe for my legal defense on anything other than that. Do you really believe she's staying in a hotel for $6 a night? No, because she would probably send like a receipt. I mean, that's what they love doing, right? So yeah, $46,000 or $41,000 is more than the average family or the median family in America makes a year. In fact, let me check this right now. Let me check the data. Median family income. Median family income. Oh, wow. It is a lot higher. So is it the median salary I was looking at? Wow, I guess inflation just like rocketed into... Holy moly. Wow. Okay, I take that back. It's about half the median family income over a year. I did not realize. No, it's right here. I'm looking at it right here. U.S. median income, 4,200 and... Yeah, I'm looking at the graph right here. I'm going to put the graph. So U.S. Census Bureau, 50%. Okay, so U.S. median income, $42,220. 50% of individuals make above this number. 50% make below. So it's not family. It's the... Oh, and then it's Reddit. So okay, it's gosh, it's Reddit. After nearly 2 years of a targeted harassment, and this is our good friend Frogan, who I believe is the only one who actually hired a lawyer. It could very well be that H3 Snark mods do not have a lawyer this time. It could very well be that Denims' lawyer, who was supposed to sue, is probably the same person, because copyright, defamation, they all kind of have to do with IP and, a little bit of IP. I don't know what the hell is going on there, but Denims' lawyer is certainly not doing a good job, in my personal opinion. And then, of course, Kaceytron, we know, is on vacation after raising, again, more money than the median person makes in America. So it's, let me give you U.S. median income. This was posted 5 months ago. It is a screenshot of the U.S. Census Bureau. So maybe I gotta like do something a little bit better. It's kind of confusing. Reddit always makes it like more difficult than it should be. So each of these individuals are probably eventually going to raise more. I mean, Denims has done that in the past before, suing Ethan Klein, or pretending to sue Ethan Klein, and fake out. Kaceytron has already hit that number. Frogan, I have no doubt, will also hit that number. A simple shout out. I mean, they literally make more than 50% of the Americans make. That's crazy, in my opinion. They make more in a few days of fundraising, and then they go on vacation. I hate GoFundMes for legal defenses, or especially for legal lawsuits, right, which Daniel was doing initially, because it really doesn't teach you responsibility. We saw this with Carl Jobs. No responsibility, because it's not his money. He just happily enters bankruptcy, and he's having a blast. I mean, he's making funny jokes. He's threatening to delete my channel. I mean, he's having the time of his life in bankruptcy. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Give this video a like if you like it. If you don't, you know where the exit is. Bye, guys.